We got ourselves Cat Jam first up on Team 2 with, we got ourselves Annalie as a Windwalker. We're going to be first up. Flexecuting versus Obliteration off the bat. Going for the honor duel. Looking very majestic in that Kirin getup on this team. We also got Chalk in the back with War Grand. We got ourselves All Dark on Team 1 with Ferna chilling. We got to have Obliteration first up with Team Demonics as Assassination, a Necrolord boy, and green. Jesus, playing that green. Jesus, I don't know why and how. I ended up timing out one of my, I just misclicked and timed out one of my mods over on the YouTube side, boys. Whoa, big harpoon for flexing, actually going through. He actually materialized, actually just let his atoms kind of separate as he goes through the bridge without harpoon. That is so interesting. I wonder if he can get caught behind the wall and basically get DC'd. I hope not. Gonna be G-Pie and Flexing. Does he have an answer for it? Does go for a Shadow Meld. Obliteration couldn't really get himself a big setup. Alter Time does dissipate here, and Flexing is gonna go for a massive mobility. Big Harpoon coming in, closing the gap with Obliteration for the big Raptor Strike after the kill commands do get stacked up back to back to back. I swear I didn't mean to time out one of my mods. Wait, why was the message defeated for Mithra? What? I really didn't mean to. I meant to pin it. I didn't mean to time it out. I meant to pin it. Okay, please, can you top out the same thing it said for 5v5 1v1s for everybody so I can pin it in chat so they know how to join in? Oh my goodness, I'm so bad at this, dude. I'm so bad at this. Trinket coming up from Flexecuty. I'm sorry, I'm freaking out for the video, but I accidentally timed out one of the messages my mods. Mod Cran all the time, every single stream, pops in and lets people know how to join in for the duels when they ask on the stream, and I end up timing out the message instead of pinning it, and I feel like a dummy. But who else feeling like a dummy? Not Obliteration, not Flexing, because they've been fighting each other tooth and nail for 2 minutes in a row so far. Big damage coming out for Obliteration as he's going for a bit of a dip away. Flexing is on the chase. The Alter Time comes back for Obliteration, gaining quite a lot of health. Flexing is going to go for that Manic Bandage with the Feign Death, and it's going to go for a Harpoon into Obliteration immediately without Freezing Trap. As he's trying to get himself some CC chains on Oblit with a bit of kiting, bit of dodge, but Obliteration with the healing that mages have, with the shields that they run, are quite massive here, man. Quite massive self-survivability, and that's going to be Flexing popping into that camo. With Obliteration, all he can really do is kind of just AFK, get himself some food, and that's going to be a big old reset for the both of them. Actually, a massive reset. Obliteration is playing the Night Fae, so you can go for the massive cooldown reduction. Freeze Trap as he picks up the eyes. And Flexing is going to get a Hunter's Mark on him, setting the traps ahead of time, and that's going to be a Steel Trap to follow. Almost thinking about sending the pet in, but decides against it. Is going to poke out, get the stun, big damage coming out. Harpoon maybe onto Obliteration, going for as many ranged abilities as he can without Obliteration being able to see him. Just free damage for Flexing. Alter Time available for Oblit. It's going to Harpoon onto Flexing, looking for maybe a kill with the Alter Time. Looks like Obliteration is going to deny that. Still continue to check Pyros over at Flexing. Does land a Nova. Could go for a disengage. Maybe even Feign Death. Gone for the kill shot, but the shields are online, and Obliteration should be able to keep himself afloat for a little bit longer. Chucking out the Phoenixes. But he's going to get quite low. Again, next kill command could be pretty bad. He's going to proc out the Cauterize, missing the breath. Might be an Ice Block for Oblit. Actually, does not hit the Ice Block. That's going to be the Night Fae pod, and Flexing could actually see that Night Fae pod quite easily versus Oblit, since he wasn't exactly on top of it. Does end up taking him out with Ferna going for a bit of an auto duel with Flexing. After that first duel, going on for quite a bit of time, Ferna at least wants to give him a full honor duel, playing that Frost DK on the Katana playstyle. I like it, I like it. He's playing that Necrolord, Flexing playing that Kirin. I remember Flexing was playing the Necrolord, which can be a really solid combo for survival, in my opinion. Going to be a stun immediately for Flexing before Ferna can get up on Flexing, looking to cheese some damage onto the DK. DK is going to IBF out of that stun, finally able to get on top of the Hunter. That's going to be, did it go for a stun just now, or maybe a grip? That's going to be the snowball bouncing between him and the pet, doing actually quite a bit of damage, but Flexing does separate away from his pet. That's going to be Manic Bandages that Ferna can't really deal with. Does have the extra help in hand, looking to take out the Beast and then freeze and trap. Flexing should be able to get his pet back up and running. Unless Ferna chooses to Trinket it, actually hoping to get some pressure onto Flexing, with the fact that the Trinket out of freezing trap, not letting him get the pet. Blind before Ferna escapes with a stun after that Trinket. Ferna might be able to make some big damage happen. AMS coming out. That's going to be Turtle with a revived pet. Did have to pop a big defensive just to get the pet back up. Yo, Cred, I'm so sorry. Can you talk about the message again so I can pin it this time? I swear I'll pin it. Ferna going for that grip. Is kind of lowish on health himself. Is going to go for the pet sacrifice. Sacrificing the ghoul with a freezer trap. Stopping the Frost DK right afterwards. And mending bandage available for flexing, as he's going for the full reset camo available everything. So it's going to be a bit of a longer duel with the Hunter going in for the big CC chain plays. Ferna landing a little bit of a shield for the Maldrax. A stun by flexing with a resonating arrow. Does he have the slows to stop Ferna? Is actually just going to nade him from afar. Ferna having to get some health from Death Pact, but the pact with the Death, pact with Bonsamdio Muzal himself does leave him vulnerable with the Necrotics to follow right after. Green Jesus approaching with a trinket out of that freezing trap, looking to get some biggie damage onto flexing. Does go for that bloodlust with a bit of a sprint. Flexing looking to peel Green Jesus off him as best as possible. Feign Death is available. Does have that Feign Death to absorb a lot of that chain harvest, so his health didn't actually go anywhere. Massive shield for flexing with that one. That's going to be Green Jesus still able to get a couple storm strikes here and there. Flexing, waiting, banking for that freezing trap. Does he get it with the Earth Elemental? Better be careful. Ellie ends up getting hit. Does get himself a free death for a second. The Flame Shock doesn't come out for Green Jesus. Actually has a setup here. Wolves are up and running and does land the zap at the end. The Hunter becomes the hunted as Green Jesus gets his own pets out for the hunt. And next up is going to be Anna Lee. I'm going to call it Anna Lee, just easier that way. Into a stun onto Green Jeebus. To Ascendance rolling out for the Shaman, looking for that range damage onto Annalie. Actually, big damage coming out. Does get disarmed. Annalie might have to karma this soon. Is going to go for a karma before the Ascendance damage comes back in. Big thunders onto Annalie. Burn through that karma fully. Actually having to rotate even more defenses. Green Jesus still has so much damage ready for himself. That's going to be mental healing needed for the both of them, man. Touch of Death comes out before the Shaman can get the Maelstrom necessary to get the damage in. With All Dark going to be up next as a DH rolling in there at Annalie, trying to get some damage in before they catch up on a lot of that heals. And Annalie, as a monk, does have the incap of the mobility, and that's going to be a hunt out of Old Dark. Once he has Annalie low enough, Fist of Fury flying does get the stun. That's going to be big old IBM from afar with the hunt right after. Big damage into Annalie, not much he can do. And Old Dark just eliminates the monk out of the game almost immediately. Stunned by Kajam right afterwards, landing quite a bit of dots, quite a bit of bleeds with a bigger bite. And looking for a more of a CC heavy gameplay, just chilling, AFKing for a little bit. Big I-beam coming out for All Dark. Is playing adaptation. I'm surprised none of the stones really getting him, but the stones are not super long. The rake wasn't enough to really keep him down afloat. And that's going to be imprisoned onto Cat Jam right afterwards. Stun to follow. It is heavily DR'd, but All Dark should be able to have some damage. Does have the mobility to catch up to Cat Jam, denying the stealth, but doesn't continue the damage afterwards. Is continuing to at least peel whatever buffs he has. Cat Jam recovering on health quite a bit, and All Dark is gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Does need to deny the Pharaoh. The opener doesn't get to, as the 7-minute mark is rolling in with a big old damage, big old bites. All Dark kind of low. Darkness coming in for All Dark, but he doesn't really have much to work with here. Does get the interrupt on the Cyclone. Still super low in health. Needs the I-beam immediately. I-beam does come out. Does get himself quite a bit of damage. That's actually Demon Hunter joining him in the fight with a legendary Cat Jam going for massive heals. Looks like he'll be fine without Thorns. All Dark used to dispel the Thorns before he goes in for the damage. Does the Haunt come back anytime soon? Might be able to maybe wait out for the Haunt. Stun short on Cat Jam. Thorns is still up, and that's going to be the pod. Cat Jam should be able to bite and slash and rake through the pod. Going for the shreds. Does he get it? I'll be surprised if he didn't. It looks like Demoniac is the last one left as an Assassination Rogue versus Cat Jam, Chalk, and Wargood. He actually has quite a lot of dudes to get up at. Playing Assassination is going to be interesting here, though. It isn't a spec we see a lot in PvP. However, Demoniac been... I'm just going to save it. I'm just going to save it. I'm not going to say anything here. Just going to cut myself off at that point. Just gonna save it here. I'll let you guys see if he gets the... I wouldn't even talk about it. Not even gonna say much. But Cat Jam looking for Demoniac. It might be actually a stealth game for a little bit. Demoniac not picking up the eyes. He might need that vanish. Might not need that vanish for his burst. We don't even know what legendary he's running either. Cat Jam walking right next to him could AoE him out randomly. Demoniac definitely gets more value from the AoE, because he'll at least be able to get a setup onto Cat Jam with the Phantom Knives. If he does walk next to him, I think better Phantom Knives. Let the Cat Gem not get the proper opener. Again, walking by him, Cat Gem stops in a moment. It could be anyone's game at this point. Demoniac might be able to make a big comeback. This is a rogue. If he plays his cards right defensively, he could go from Cat Gem, reset for cooldowns, Chalk, or set for cooldowns Worgen, or whoever goes up next. Except for the Worgen, I feel like it would be quite tough. But playing that Necrolord as Assassination, that's an extra bleed, which doesn't give you extra energy, I don't believe. The bleed, I don't believe it actually gives you venomous wounds, But I don't also think it gives you exsanguinate. Wouldn't be cool. It's a perma bleed, and exsanguinate just makes it so it's permanently stronger, permanently faster ticking. That'd be nuts. That's going to be a bear for Cat Jam. 31% dampener 10 minutes into the game. He might as well just let the rogue get the opener. He has a trinket at every defensive available. Going to be Demonic getting the bones from afar. Build up lots of comp points. That's going to be maybe a trinket. A Demonic does go for it. Stun into Cat Jam. Cat Jam trinkets out of it. Barks is available. A Demonic is waiting now. Got a pretty big defensive out of Cat Jam. Letting the dots do work with him while Drax's Covenant. That's going to be yet another spike getting thrown in. Lots of comp points getting built up. Very, very quickly comp points are getting built up into a blind. This Cat Jam gets a bunch of comp points with the brutal swipes. Flashcraft available for Demoniac. Might be able to deal with the dots quite a bit. Sap, and he's got himself a proper reset. If he has himself a proper go, lots of comp points ready. Getting the shot onto Cat Gem with Vendetta rolling in. Big Envenom. Does he have a second Venom? And there he goes. Big Envenom does have to take down the seed, but he did get himself the big old go one-shot wombo combo. Does Cat Gem survive this? He looks like he does not, and Demoniac should be able to get himself a proper reset. Chog, the enhancement Shaman, is going to be up next. And Demoniac making that Assassination one-shot burst work. Not its subtlety rogue. Assassination one-shot. Got a trinket out of the Feral and got himself a proper go with the Vendetta and everything. But now he's going to be down on cooldowns. Might have to play the dot game at 39% dampener. I guess the Shaman in particular, you might actually be able to slow him quite a bit with the crippling poison. At least make him run 100% speed if you can stay ahead of him. Let the dots do work. Chog does have a way to self-heal, as enhanced Shamans are no longer completely helpless against rogues, but the damage is quite high. He could maybe go in and get some dots on a Chalk and just at least start, you know, taking him down health-wise bit by bit. Maybe go for a Kinder Shot, see if that'll force a trinket out of Chalk. He might need to do that. He might need to play that that aggressively. Is going to open up with an ambush, trying to get some dots on the Chalk as he drops down a stun totem. Exchanging the dots. Chalk already using a wall pretty early on. That's going to be a big ascendance. Demoniac could actually go for a big reset. Kidney shot onto Chalk. That's going to be Cloak of Shadows as Chalk has quite a bit of damage ready. Shadow Step available. Does he go for it? He does not go for it. Could go for an evasion. Chalk did quite a bit of dams here. Blind onto Chog. Demoniac super low in health. Only Earth Elemental is the one hitting him. He might be able to get a slow on that thing and go for a reset with the Shaman, but he got every cooldown out of him, and Demoniac doesn't really need that much health himself, honestly. He just hit himself a big old go. Probably has a bunch of comp points ready and should be able to maybe make a big setup happen. Chalk cannot knock him back, not play an Elemental. We're going to see him opening up with a Kinder Shot. It's going to be the totem. Might be able to take down the totem. Big Envenom. It looks like the totem zaps him back. He actually went in for so much damage, and the totem just ended up ruining that burst opportunity. How much damage did it do? Did it show up here? Demoniac 7k easy. Big bursty on the Druid. Probably would have been another big burst, but man, that Counter-Strike totem needs to be eliminated. You need to literally get an auto attack on that thing. But I'm pretty sure we need to give him another go with Assassination. At least once more, right? At least once more. All right, boys. Let's get another go. Yeah.